Hello everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today it's all about sports themed cards and a fun shaker tag with products from the Pretty Pink Posh June 2024 release. This is my third video featuring products from this release. Lots of really great, not necessarily just boy themed product, but definitely more product geared for boys. I always say this, but I do feel like there tends to be maybe not as many great guy themed things or little boy themed things. So far we've had outer space. I've also done a construction card, and now we're going to do some sports. And this would be great for any of the sports kiddos out there. You know, boys and girls for sure. I really love all of the products in this set. And I know when my kids were playing sports, I always was looking for these kinds of products. So I made this particular card. I wanted my background to be super subtle. Now you could definitely ink all of these sports layering images in very true to, you know, what the actual colors are. However, I decided to use flannel Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink and do a tone on tone. It's the same color, the base color and the layering color. I wanted it just to be a very soft background, and I love how this turned out because we're going to pop a lot of color on top, and I want the background to be interesting, but I don't want it to take away from the design. On top of this, my newest favorite product, Distress Spritz from Tim Holtz. I'm using weathered wood. It kind of has a silvery shimmer to it, which I thought was going to look really good with this gray background, and it does. I only used 1 or 2 spritzes of the product. I want it to be very, very light coverage. Now I have another piece of white cardstock in my Misty, and I am stamping greetings from the sports stamp set with some other Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink. I used Royal for Way to Go Champ, and then for the You've Got Game sentiment, I did start with, I think I started with cherry ink, and I didn't love the color next to the die cut stars that you can see that I already have laid out on my card background. These are, of course, the stitched stars from Pretty Pink Posh. You can see how it's just a little too pinky, so I actually grabbed Sangria ink, and that really deepened and darkened it, and I think that looks amazing. Next to that, I am going to also from the sports stamp set stamp the baseball bat and a couple of baseballs. So my nephew actually plays for a traveling baseball team, and I kind of made both of the projects today with him in mind because I knew he would like these projects really well. So I plan to kind of use them together. His birthday is in the fall, so I'll tie the football tag to his gift and then of course give him the card. So that was kind of my thought process behind this. Off camera, I did stitch all of these I die cut all of the stitched stars from 3 shades of cardstock. We have Blue Jay from Lawn Fawn, Surf from I want to say Hero Arts. It might be Simon Says Stamp. It'll be linked below. And Schoolhouse Red from Simon Says Stamp. Then I'm going to color in the baseball bat and the baseballs with my Olo markers. This is really fast coloring. 3 shades for brown, 2 for red, and then a couple of cool grays for the white of the baseballs. Not intense coloring whatsoever for this. I just wanted to add those to my card. Now, the fun thing about this particular card base, if you don't need baseball, the sports set has the other sports in this set. So you could do tennis, you could do football, you could do volleyball, you could do basketball. Change up the colors. Maybe you do school colors for the kid or the team colors. And maybe you change up the sports thing and the greetings. Super easy to do. But what I love about that soft background is that you could really do anything on top of it. And I like the stars. I thought they added a really fun effect. Once I have everything colored in, I am going to die cut the baseball bat and baseballs with the coordinating dies. Just an FYI, Pretty Pink Posh no longer tabs their dies. amazing. So I'm going to die cut those, and then I am taking the label dies and we are going to die cut the sentiments with the previously released label dies. And then I'm also going to stamp a layering piece for the label die. You can kind of see that there on the screen, from either the Blue Jay or Schoolhouse Red cardstocks, so that I can just add a little pop of color to this. Now this card, real time, you guys, completely real time, took me like 23 minutes to make. That's like a record for me. I tend to make cards that don't necessarily get done super fast, and I have to say I absolutely love this design. So I was thrilled that I was able to create it quickly, I guess is the moral of the story. Now it did take me probably 10 to 15 minutes to make the shaker tag, mostly, and it really, I don't know, I fiddled around with the shaker tag a lot, but that doesn't matter. So both projects really quick, meaning that if you need something fast, I think you would be able to create these really, really quickly. Now, I love using that little scallop underneath the banner. You wouldn't have to, but I do love the little pop of color that that adds. And then I am going to trim down this second greeting because it is a little shorter than the You've Got Game. And that means I'll also trim down the little scallop that I'm using to layer back behind. And I'm doing all of this kind of off to the side. I didn't move my die cut machine into the frame, and I really fiddled with this silly sentiment, but that's okay. We're going to group the stars kind of down the left side of the card, layering, and I felt like lots of layering of the stars would be really fun here. Like some will be layered on top of each other, but some are just going to be kind of slightly overlapping. I guess that's what I want to say. Now, you'll notice the blue star that the baseball and bat is on has some shimmer to it. That is the weathered wood. Distress Spritz. These are new products from Tim Holtz. I will be linking here to another project I've created with the Spritz. I have lots and lots of videos coming with this new product from Tim Holtz. I love it. You can get everything. My other video has a lot fuller coverage. This is very light coverage. So it goes light to dark coverage depending on how much you spray something. I love that personally because you can see on these projects, I've used very minimal, or on this card, pardon, I've used very minimal coverage, meaning there's just a little bit of distress just for added interest, but it's not adding a load of color. It's more of just that little bit of spatter, that little bit of shimmery pearlized sparkle. So in my spatter box, I am going to lightly spritz the dark blue and the red cardstock with weathered wood. Now the lighter blue, the surf colored cardstock, I spritzed with Uncharted Mariner, and I didn't really love the coverage. I got like the one with the bigger glob on it, I kind of liked that, but the other one I didn't necessarily love. So I'm going to actually die cut another star. I had to die cut like 2 more stars. I was having a little issue with coverage and getting way too much on there. I probably could have just used the weathered wood and that would have been a little bit lighter, but I liked the idea of a little bit darker blue on that lighter blue star. 2 of each color for the stars. Again, just a nice variety. I started with the dark blue and red, but then I pulled in a little bit of that lighter blue, which I really personally loved. I love these stitch stars. These are the latest in the collection from Pretty Pink Posh. You know, we've got stitched hearts, we've got all of the stitched things. These are some of my most used and most favorite products. I actually used these on my other video featuring the Distress Spritz for a kind of patriotic type of tag project. So now I got smart and I'm kind of over to the side. So a lot of the spray is actually in my box, not on my project, but that does give me the lighter coverage I was looking for. Now we're ready to pull it together, and I did go ahead and just adhere everything with foam adhesive off camera. So lots and lots of foam, but what is Pretty Pink Posh known for? embellishments, of course. That is how they started. And so we are going to take some of the clay shapes and we are going to embellish. I have a couple of triangle trays here from Simon Says Stamp, and we're going to take the stars from these two sets and we are going to add stars to our die cut stars. We're going to add clay stars just around the background of our card as embellishment to fill it all in. I did adhere not only the stars and the sentiment strips with foam, but the baseball bat and baseballs have foam as well. So there's a lot of dimension to this card. I've really been into a lot of foam dimension lately. I always am into foam adhesive, but I generally don't add 2 layers, but I've been doing that a lot and I'm really loving it. And again, you can see that if you had just switched it out for a different sport, you could do that easily. Oh, I love it so much. We're going to adhere this panel to a white top fold card base, and that is it. Super quick, super easy. I made a little mess with all my clay embellishments, but that is okay. And let's go ahead and make a football shaker tag now. Something that Pretty Pink Posh is excellent at is shakers. All kinds of great shakers that you can use their wonderful embellishments in. And in this case, we have a football shaker. Not only great for cards, but I thought it would be fun to make tags. If you guys know me at all, you know that I am a tag fanatic. I love making tags. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the football shape and we are going to die cut it from some brown textured Lawn Fawn cardstock. We're going to use the insert to cut it out twice to make a front and a back because I want to make a see-through tag. We're going to use the solid football, the larger football shape, to die cut the acetate window. We're going to cut 2 of those, one for the front and the back. And then on the front and the back of the frame, we're going to glue our acetate to the frame. And then what I like to do is put something heavy on top. And usually that's an acrylic block. I've held on to my acrylic blocks since my early stamping days, but you could do a book or something else nice and flat, something kind of heavy. It's going to just hold that down while the glue is drying. Then I am taking the layering pieces that come with the football shaker tag, or football shaker, pardon me, and I've die cut these from white textured cardstock. We're going to glue these to the front of one of the tags. Now, one of the things I absolutely love to do, love to do when I am using acetate is stamping on the acetate with white StazOn ink. You could leave the tag without anything at all, but I thought I would take the Your Number One sentiment from the sports stamp set, and we're going to stamp that right here on the front of the tag with white StazOn. First, I need to know where I'm going to place that, so I did glue my pieces in place here on the front. Now you really probably, I didn't do this, but maybe I should. You go back in and die cut another set of these and you can easily see where they would go on the back of the tag. That would kind of disguise that. I'll do that later since I just now realized that would probably look better. But I just used an acrylic block and stamped Your Number One right underneath the stitching on the football. And I love that. So now I am going to take these thin foam adhesive strips. We're going to remove the backing and we're going to lay them along the curved edge. The reason I remove the backing is it does make the foam flexible. Is the foam super sticky? Does it want to stick to my fingers and not the acetate? It sure does. But I'm just going to be persistent. We'll get it. But it does allow you to easily curve it if you remove the backing. And that is my best key for any type of shaker or anytime you're trying to add dimension to a curved edge is to take that backing paper off because you can manipulate it so much easier. Now my strips weren't quite long enough, so I am having to piece down here at the end, which is totally fine. I'm just going to snip that and try to manipulate it, and it's sticking to my fingers, but that's okay. We're going to get there. And then I'm going to fill my shaker with the shaker beads that you can see on the screen. Now, I do want to say, you'll notice my shaker actually has stars and confetti, clay confetti in it as well. You're going to see me very carefully peel up the corner of this shaker in a little bit. I filled it with the beads first, and it holds significantly more than what you think it's going to hold. So what I did was I filled it and I thought, oh my gosh, that looks so full. I still want it to be able to shake and move around. I went ahead and popped the back right in place. And lo and behold, I'm like, wow, that is not enough shaker material at all. I definitely want more. So see how it's only like halfway full? Oh my gosh. So, first I did go ahead. I have a crocodile. I am going to punch a hole in the corner. Will that make beads escape? It will. You just saw some escape. However, we're going to plug that hole by doubling up some of this lawn trimmings twine. It does match the kind of red, white, and blue theme I got going here. And I am going to thread my twine through there, kind of using the loop. And with my ends, I am going to secure those by knotting. That does plug up the hole, and I had nothing else escape because I doubled up my twine through that hole, I think. And I did use the smallest hole punch possible to be able to create my tag. You could also make a loop or something or a cardstock loop from maybe another die or tag or something to hang off the edge, but this was really easy. Okay, here I am pulling very carefully, pulling up the edge, and I'm going to fill my shaker with some of the coordinating red, white, and blue confetti. And I'm going to kind of pop that in there, make sure it's not on the adhesive, and then secure that back in place. And then I really had to shake and shake and shake and mix it all up. And there we go. It is going to look amazing. And I am super happy with how my tag turned out. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these two sports themed projects featuring Pretty Pink Posh June 2024 release products. The supplies I used to create the card and tag are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you guys again so much for joining me today. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again next time. Bye! Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new video. Thanks for watching!